What's up, everyone? This is Goldilocks, former TNA backstage interviewer, manager, and you're listening to TNA Cross the Line podcast. Thanks for being here.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 155 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley in Dallas. It is the go-home show before 2005 Against All Odds. It's actually getting kind of nice to be able to say the go-home show before a pay-per-view, and it's only been 4 episodes.
It's pretty freaking crazy, man. Remember last time it was like, okay, we got to watch a pay-per-view next week again for 2 hours. Again.
Yeah.
For 2 years, 2.5 years, or whatever.
2 times a week, because we would do like Thursday and Sundays or whatever, right?
It's brutal, man. I don't know how we made it through. I thought that could have been the end of us, but we did it. And now it's like every 2 weeks we get a banger pay-per-view.
That's right.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. Last week's episode, we Dallas, you liked it. I mean, it wasn't a bad show, just a little bit more dull. But there was a kind of an angle taking place between Kevin Nash and Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Nash got paid about $20,000 to be on camera and not say a single word. He had a massage from a masseuse while Shane Douglas interviewed him, and then the masseuse, or the masseur, whatever you want to call it, backed off. Kevin Nash was like, something's up. And Jeff Jarrett tried hitting him with a guitar. He missed. Kevin Nash still didn't say a word. Then, the final 15 seconds of the show, Kevin Nash, in slow motion.
Which Bob noted, and I thought it was literally him going slow. And then at the last like couple frames, I was like, oh no, they slowed that shit.
Yeah,
down.
because like when he's moving his hand, like he's not gonna be like, he's gonna be like, forceful. Slow motion, opening the door to Jeff Jarrett's locker room. Now, that leaves us wondering what is going to happen, or what happened. What are we going to see on this week's episode? I predicted that he's going to open it and Scott Hall is going to be in there talking with Jeff Jarrett, and he's going to be like, "What?"
I love that idea.
That's what I think. But unfortunately, you also said that we're going to talk about Scott Hall today, last week.
Oh yeah, I did say that, huh?
So that makes me feel like as if maybe Scott Hall has had some bad news, because I feel like anytime we talk about Scott Hall, it's usually not good. At least around this time.
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to just tell you right now?
Well, I mean, we can like slowly get into our notes and everything. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, I was going to start with our of course our normal recap of last week, and then I got a couple of things that were very short follow-ups, and we have some other notes that we'll talk about. One of those follow-ups is about Scott Hall. And then some of the other stuff we have to talk about. What else? I mean, can I tease some stuff here today? We'll be talking about a Terry Funk interview during the show today. Here's a fun quote. You're probably wondering, why the fuck are we going to talk about that? Just think about it. Championship committee and all that. Well, yeah,
I was going to say, he'll probably be like, I didn't even know I was on the championship committee.
Right. And we'll talk more about Sean Waltman today. Let's see. Yeah, there's some fun stuff. We'll talk more about that Blue Collar TV taping, which is where Jeff Jarrett got injured. Which I don't know what Blue Collar TV really is.
It was a sketch show with Foxworthy, Label the Care guy, Bill Engvall. It was on CW or UPN, whatever it was.
So yeah, we have a bunch of fun stuff today. Last week was a little bit more tame, I feel like, on like exciting notes. I think there's a little bit more to it today. But I guess before that, let me scroll back up here. And we're going to talk some highlights from the February 1st taping in Universal, which drew about 600 people. We're, of course, only going to talk these notes about last week's show and not the one we're about to watch. Spoiler-free review. That's right, baby. It was reported as kind of a non-eventful with no great matches nor major angles, which should not surprise you after what we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be grooming Cassidy Riley to be a protege of Dustin Rhodes, which actually I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, Tracy and Trinity continue to fight over Dusty, which they did the segment where they both showed Dusty DVDs of apparently themselves, is what this is saying. I guess maybe I didn't pick up on that. But anyways, he told them each to pick a tag team for the pay-per-view show, and the winning team's woman gets him, which of course means the secretary, which, all the innuendos that go along with that. David Young returned in a comedy role, and Shark Boy was also back, largely because his merchandise sells. So Shark Boy's back because those Shark t-shirts and masks and whatever else are selling pretty well. They ran 2 angles on the first show, which is, of course, what we're only talking about now, where Jeff Hardy and Abyss, after Hardy's win over David Young, Abyss came out, 2 brawled around the arena. Then after Abyss beat Lex Levette, he set up a table, put him through it. Hardy came out, and Abyss got the better of him and was about to press him through the table, but Hardy reversed it into a DDT onto the table. Mm-hmm. And of course, backstage, Kevin Nash was getting of course, Dave's notes here, a $5,000 massage because they weren't paying him for it, and they were paying him for being on the show. So we're saying $5,000 is what he's potentially getting paid for that massage.
That's amazing.
It's fucking awesome.
Awesome.
And they didn't just do that little clip. He probably got the full massage.
Oh, I'm sure. And if
he's like, just do it.
Here's the thing: knowing Kevin Nash's humor, he could have just said, "Oh, I maybe fucked up or something," and then just continue to get the massage over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta retake that.
I would totally believe that. So yes, very expensive massage he was getting there. Now, when Jarrett showed up, he went in with the guitar. Nash they're saying he saw in the mirror, which I guess also makes sense that there could be a mirror over there. And he moved out of the way, and they went face to chest. So they were face on. The TV main was DDP and Monty Brown going over the Naturals. They later, at the end, as Bob noted, showed Nash going to Jarrett's locker room, and the clip cut before you could see what happened. The other things that he did not know in this is Shark Boy's match. He lost to P. Williams in the opening contest. And then AJ Styles defeated Buck Quartermain as well and had a confrontation with Christopher Daniels. Which he was like, "You want to fight now?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm going to wait." And he's like, "Well, good.
Good.
That sounds like the plan.
I'll see you then."
Yeah. So that's kind of where we left off. Now, a fun note here is that backstage at this taping, Billy Gunn was there.
Wow.
He will not.
I was going to ask if we were going to get a Billy Gunn update because I know that he'd been mentioned.
He did not appear, so he will not be on the show we're about to watch, for the record. So Dave said that he's guessing his non-compete is still in effect for a few weeks, but he has said to already agreed to a deal. So he's definitely coming in.
Billy Gunn, definitely coming in.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know if I hate it.
I feel like I kind of enjoy Billy Gunn.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I
think he's another recognizable face and all that kind of good stuff too. So I'm not against it.
Yeah, as long as he's motivated and healthy, I think.
I feel like he is more often than his former partner that we already see on TV every week. So
yeah.
So we'll see. This is also going to be sort of a spoiler here, Bob, but this is about Scott Hall. I don't want to crush your great idea, but I'm about to. So apparently Scott Hall drank so much on the flight back from Korea that after that's a typo. I'm ignoring that line. It says after he flight to Korea. Oh, after the flight. So when he was coming back, that he was rushed to the hospital on his return and was in intensive care at one point in Orlando. He was not at the tapings on February 1st, so he will not be in Jarrett's locker room. Where they were scheduled to shoot angles to build up him and Bobby Roode versus Monty Brown and DDP for the pay-per-view. We saw that announcement at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
They were pushing stuff in that direction, but we don't have any word right now if he's even going to be able to work the pay-per-view.
So he wasn't at the taping, and they still had it on the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't even know. I don't know why you would keep it on there.
Yeah.
If you knew.
If you're that unsure, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of tough. Well, let's see what else we got here. This is kind of a funny one. Alvarez notes that WWE is following in the footsteps of TNA, and he says if you watch Impact and WWE TV shows, this isn't the first time. They are offering a 1 cent WrestleMania recall show in March. So they're doing like the 1 cent show like TNA did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's kind of funny. I got a really interesting one here, and you're probably going to be like, why the hell are you telling me this? Well, Brock Lesnar has filed suit on February 4th in the U.S. District Court in Bridgeport, Connecticut, in an attempt to get out of his non-compete clause in his contract, which the lawsuit revealed lasts until January 30th, 2010. As a reminder, we are in February 2005. Yeah.
His no compete would be 5 years.
Yeah.
He must have signed an extension or something.
Yeah, it's got to be. So,
holy shit.
Why are we mentioning this on a TNA podcast? Well, of course, at this time, he's trying to get out. WrestleMania 20 was his last match. Mm-hmm. And publicly, New Japan, K1, and Pride have expressed interest in Brock Lesnar, among a bunch of other things. I'm not diving too deep into this, but it is very interesting to note that TNA has also expressed interest in Brock Lesnar, although no negotiations have taken place between the two sides. So I just want you to think about that for a minute, Bob. 2005. Imagine Brock Lesnar comes in to TNA.
Yeah, just to do the job to Jeff Jarrett.
You couldn't do that. You could not do that.
I'm telling you right now.
You could not.
I guarantee you, he's Jeff Jarrett. Like, listen here, pal. Tonight here, Slamversary.
You could not do that.
You and me, Impact Zone. 20 minutes, stroke, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna counter at 5. Choke on that, Slappy. Knock you
choke
down.
On that, Slappy.
Yep.
Now, I think it's really fun and important to note here that I think just recently, Kurt Angle said that when he is here in TNA, spoiler, that Brock had interest in coming, or Kurt Angle was going to try. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but I think it's super interesting.
So I did a transcription for that.
Oh, that's maybe where I read it. I can't remember.
And it was 2007 because they wrestled in New Japan.
New Japan, yes.
Against each other. And Brock expressed interest. He's like, hey, man, if you can get me the same money that you're making, I'll jump over to Impact. I'd go to Impact. And then apparently Kurt went to Dixie and Jeff and whatever, and was like, hey, man, Brock would like to come in, and but he'd have to make the same money that I'm making. And mind you, Kurt Angle was making the most money out of everybody. I mean, he was making millions of dollars. And, Impact at that time was not offering. Yeah, they were not offering that to everybody, Like Sting was making $600,000 or something, and Kurt Angle was surpassed that, well surpassed that. From what I can remember, the statement was he's not worth that money. We wouldn't make our money back on that. Now, of course, this is 2007. It's probably.
I was going to say, I think it's a really interesting, because in hindsight, how stupid.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I think you got to keep in mind, 2007. What's Brock? He's wrestling in Japan, which barely anyone in the U.S. is really watching at the time.
Right.
He didn't go to UFC yet, right?
No, UFC would have been a little bit after that. Yeah,
right.
After that.
So I think it's important to know, he kind of cooled off from his WWE run by this point. I feel like.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Brock Lesnar.
I agree. I definitely think they should have done it still.
And in the wrestling community, he still has a lot of value.
No, I don't disagree with that, but I can understand why they're like, nah, I don't want that right now. That's coming. Listen, that's coming from the same people who, once again, no, they're not the same people technically, but the same company who we were just talking about last week, dude. Oh, let's bring in Barry Horowitz. I'm just saying, like, come on. Right. Is he worth any money? I'm sorry. But I just can't get over this. I can't get over this.
But let's say in 2007, you bring in Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Yeah.
The amount of fresh matchups. Now, obviously, he had wrestled Kurt several times, but that's a fresh matchup in Impact or TNA.
In Impact, though, but still, who cares?
You have Sting. You have Christian Cage, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
We eventually got that Styles match, dude.
That's true. And Joe, didn't he fought Joe too?
Yeah, we did get. That's so crazy to think about.
Yeah, Abyss against Lesnar.
Yeah, no, it would have been cool.
There would have been a lot of options there.
No, I think they should have done it for sure.
I would have absolutely done it.
Now, when Kurt is in, are they paying for Kurt, or is Spike paying for Kurt?
I think that's Spike.
So that's an important thing to keep in mind too. That's a whole different thing too.
I'm pretty sure like Sting and Spike, or Sting,
Angle,
Kurt, Booker later on.
Yes.
Obviously Hogan, Bischoff.
Not Kevin Nash, probably, right? Is Nash probably not?
No, I don't think Nash. I mean, Nash was getting paid now, but
right. So that's the thing, is that he kind of has more longevity than a lot of these other guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, eventually Hogan and Bischoff, I know, are for sure. Now, when Nash and Scott Hall come back in like 2010,
I don't know.
That might be. I don't know. I didn't work in the office, but
right. But to go back kind of to the no compete for 5 years, that's insane. I believe, obviously by what we were talking about, Brock eventually, I believe, like sues them and they go to court and he wins.
That's awesome.
And he wins his freedom there from the no compete, because that is ridiculous to be like, hey, yeah, you can't do anything for 5 years. Go work in a warehouse or something, but you can't be a wrestler or a football player or a UFC fighter. That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I thought this was super interesting. And what's nice about these Observer newsletters too is, like, I don't read the entire thing. I do like the find on page for like TNA, and this popped up, and I was like, yo, okay, this sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, I thought it was a fun thing to point out. But moving on here, there's apparently a lot of internal debate regarding Dusty Rhodes. So,
oh boy, he's been there he's been in power for less than like 5 weeks.
I know. Remember, he had 6 months to turn this place around.
Right.
Jarrett, who pushed for Rhodes to get the book, has been raving about the job he's done, crediting him for great pay-per-view shows and increasing ratings. Now, others believe that Rhodes has produced TV that doesn't insult anyone's intelligence and builds to the pay-per-view shows, but that Dutch Mantel's TV was doing the same thing. The feeling is 2 great pay-per-view shows were not so much Rhodes' great matchmaking, since the last pay-per-view on paper didn't really look that great. Disagree. But so many of the wrestlers overachieved from what you'd expect. Perhaps Rhodes' football coach speech before the show helped out, but the great matches like Ultimate X saw 3 guys come up with ideas for weeks because they wanted to surpass previous Ultimate X's. And we were told 2 weeks before the show that they were going to create something special. The feeling is the wrestlers deserve a lot of the credit for having better matches than appeared on paper, and the rating increase has to come from a combination of strong reactions to the pay-per-view shows and more. The added TV exposure and more TV exposure. Still, at this point, even with the silly ego skits where the women half his age are fighting over him, Rhodes is doing a solid job. So Meltzer speaks pretty highly still of Dusty. So I personally have been really enjoying the way that we've been building to these pay-per-views and all that kind of good stuff. So I don't have any complaints really.
No, I think the TV's been pretty good. I mean, it is silly that he does have, Tracy and Trinity fighting over him, but
right.
When you have the book, you can do whatever you want.
Right. So back on Scott Hall situation, and some apparent rumors here. The company is advertising and expecting him. So this is I just read the other note. That is from a separate Observer, just for the newsletter, just for the record. They are expecting him on the pay-per-view. But it's anyone's guess if he'll actually be in shape to work it. Hall's health was far worse than being let on, and for a short time there after he came back from Korea when he was placed in the ICU, his friends were genuinely fearing for his life. So, not very good. Others are trying to downplay it, saying that he was okay after a short period in the hospital. So, kind of bouncing off this pay-per-view match he's got, it is being noted that Billy Gunn and Sean Waltman will be making, quote, surprise appearances at the pay-per-view. So this is the rumor right now. So one or other could replace Hall if he cannot appear. He was not at the TV, as we noted already, but he is out of the hospital. One of his closest friends have been allowed to talk with him. Wonder who that could be. And their impression at press time was that he wasn't going to be there. There are several in the company who wanted Hall gone over the incident. Jeff Jarrett wanted to bat for Hall, using the rationalization that since this incident wasn't under their watch, it's not their concern. And Dave basically says, well, you can't rationalize everything, or you can rationalize everything if you try hard enough. The feeling from Korea was that Hall was really bad over there and should have been fired over it. The feeling is that Hall can't go anywhere if he's going to be staying overnight without messing up. And there was no chance on a trip to Korea that it wouldn't end up like this. In his TNA appearances, he's usually fine the day of the show, but after the show, it's been a different story.
Okay, so the comment by Jeff Jarrett there is a little worrisome.
That's not their problem.
Yeah, because it wasn't
on their
watch. So that is a little worrisome to me.
Well, because I think it's hard. You got to remember that he's also just like a human being. It's not just like that when you have substance issues,
right?
It goes other places. It's not just happens. Oh, he's fine when we're with him. Well,
right. Like I would still want to look out for him, and try to keep him like level.
Right.
If you just ignore it because it wasn't in front of you, or it wasn't a part of your company, I think that's just a little irresponsible as a promoter or business owner or whatever. So.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. And speaking of Sean Waltman here, he wrote this on his website this past week. And I'm not going to read this entire quote because it's kind of long, but I pulled out some interesting parts that I think can relate to us. So he says, quote, as much as I have cared and loved for Joni Lore, I'm probably saying her last name wrong, but it's China. The fact is that I am moving forward with my life. Our relationship was as unhealthy and dysfunctional as they come. He wishes her the best, and he's having a hard time putting this behind him. But basically, he goes on to say, I established my own identity long before anyone have heard of China or Joni. And being in a relationship with her did a good job of stripping me of my own identity. He's like pouring his heart out on this thing. It's like, it's kind of hard to read, honestly. He says, I have my own things going on now. Starting February 11th in Tijuana, I will be reuniting with Road Dogg and Billy Gunn against Conan, Nicho, and Rey Mysterio Sr. Then he says TNA will be next, and I'm looking forward to Sean Waltman's Redemption Tour 2005. No more looking backwards. I'm going forward, and I'm not looking back. So he's looking to really redeem himself here in 2005. And like I said, this is from his website. He posted this.
I just hope that he keeps his head on straight for a while at least.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. That whole thing with China was not healthy for either one. So to finally step away from that should be maybe a turning point for him.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with Sean Waltman here if and when that is. Maybe it's our next episode, Bob. Just in 2 days against the Hawks. You never know. Yeah. So they did this angle on the Best Damn Sports Show period on February 4th to set up the Jarrett versus DDP program. Now, of course, this is all rumored stuff that's happening. This is potentially the next thing. We talked about it last week that Dusty is thinking that DDP is going to be this successor. Well, it started out with Monty Brown being there, predicting a Patriots Super Bowl win. Now, Bob, who won the Super Bowl in 2005?
The Patriots did.
Well, look at that. Monty Brown got it right. And of course, as most people know, he did play with the Patriots during his NFL career and was on 2 Super Bowl teams. Look at that.
Yeah, but they lost. He lost both of them. So.
Oh, sucks to suck. Well, Jarrett came out wearing an Eagles jersey, holding his guitar. Nash and DDP wound up out there as well. Jarrett went to hit Nash with the guitar shot, but he got out of the way and DDP took the shot. Jarrett DDP is scheduled to be the next major program, and logic would say this has to be a title change. The whole deal with Jarrett as champion is that the crowd itself made it painfully clear that Jarrett has the wrong kind of heat. We discussed that a lot on last week's episode. If you missed out, definitely take a listen to that. And everyone knows that they have to get the belt off of him. The line right now is that there is nobody else ready for the belt. Styles is working the X division, and they use the too small and can't talk good enough tag on him. Raven can talk and was over, although not nearly as much as he once was, and he's not positioned as a top guy any longer. Kevin Nash can't work a world title match. That's what Dave says, just one line. And Brown, Monty Brown, isn't ready. And Rhodes has stated that giving Brown the title would ruin him, so they can't do it. Jeff Hardy would be a disaster because he's not over and doesn't care. So you've got DDP, who's almost 49, but he's in good shape and is in good enough of a worker and a good enough talker and has charisma, and most importantly, he isn't Jarrett.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, dude. I don't know. I don't know if
He's 49 coming off of a previously thought career-ending neck injury. I don't know. I mean, I would have just put it on Monty Brown. I don't see how it ruins him.
That's how I feel too, but
I mean, you've beaten him, so he's not undefeated or anything.
Right.
He's got charisma, more so than a lot of guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how anybody could sit there and say that. Oh, that'd be a bad idea.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I mean, I agree. I think Jeff Jarrett he should have the belt taken off of him. DDP is realistically a fine choice in terms of maintaining in-ring quality. Like, he'll probably give you a good brawl. But, yeah, I don't know. Why don't they just call up Sting?
Wow, what an idea that is.
Yeah, hey, Sting, why don't you just win the world
title?
title?
I know a few weeks ago they were saying that Sting, he thinks he's done doing TNA because he paid back his debt to Jerry Jarrett.
Okay, well then, hey, Sting, we'll pay you
a lot of money,
$300,000 for 6 dates, and you just defend the belt, and then on the 6th date, you'll drop it to a top heel that we built up.
Who will probably be Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That blue collar TV taping that we've talked about a few times, especially recently, we've kind of been building up to this. That happened on January 25th at the former Center Stage Theater, where WCW filmed its show for years in Atlanta. Well, they're very happy with how this taping went. They had 300 fans attend tapings of wrestling matches that would air on 2 different shows, scheduled for late March and or early April. Jeremy Borash and Don West played the TNA announcing team. Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, and Bill Engvall, I don't know how to say his name, Engvall, trained with former Crockett wrestler Rocky King in Atlanta. Jeff Jarrett and Abyss and AJ Styles faced the Blue Collar TV guys in a trios match. Also appearing on the show were Atlanta independent wrestlers Michael Cook, James Everhart, Gary Woods, and Heath Miller. Kind of weird. I don't know. But I believe this is the one where the guitar shot, it went in Jeff Jarrett's eye. He went to the hospital.
Right.
A fucking splinter in the eye. That's exactly what I would want to happen in my life. I got 2.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting though.
Yeah, no thank you.
They were on there and it went pretty well, and then he got a splinter to the eye.
Right. I got 2 more notes, Bob, and then we're going to get into the show. And then I do have some this week that we'll talk about during the show.
Okay.
I don't think I take mind blowing, but we'll talk about it. Actually, I do have some rumors about who the Tracy and Trinity tag teams might be. It changed, believe it or not, from the last time.
So, in case anybody's wondering, the The TNA appearance on Blue Collar TV is in fact on YouTube.
What?
Yep. So the title of it is just TNA on Blue Collar TV. It is 5 minutes and 37 seconds long. It's the YouTube channel of Crunkster91. It has 80,000 views. It was uploaded July 7th, 2007. Here's the description. TNA wrestlers and announcers guest star on the Blue Collar TV show. Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Don West, Jimmy Borash, and Abyss. Crappy quality, but enjoy.
I love that. Okay, I'm definitely watching that. So, Bob, please send that to me. Or I'm going to forget to do it. Okay, so 2 more notes. Johnny Fairplay got loaded and was thrown out of a Survivor reunion party this past week. Jeff Probst, who put the show together, said that Fairplay was a great villain on the show and worked well as a TV rival for Rupert, but said that after this, he never wants to see him again for the rest of his life. And then Dave adds his 2 cents, saying he's probably not the only person with those feelings.
Yeah.
And finally, this is a note that Bob will actually probably mention at one point during the show, but a lot of TNA talent appeared on the February 5th Cyberspace show in Wayne, New Jersey, before 350 fans, including Jeff Jarrett, Ron Killings, America's Most Wanted, Christopher Daniels, Primetime, Tracy, Chris Candido, and Kazarian. Jeff Jarrett did pin Ron Killings after a low blow and the stroke to keep the NWA title in the main event. And shockingly enough, America's Most Wanted lost their cyberspace tag team titles to The Solution, who is a local team, due to outside interference and distraction from Daniels and Primetime, which is pretty interesting. The little Triple X reunion there. And a couple of people actually no-showed this event, and that includes Abyss, who was working in a different city that night, Michael Shane, Trinity, and Sanjay Dutt, who was in Japan for 0-1.
That's interesting. I didn't know about those no-shows. That show has been reviewed on WrestlingRecaps.com. Super Brawl Saturday.
You have got to be shitting me.
No, I'm not shitting you. I have watched it.
Bob, I got your text here. I'm just gonna say, this says it's gonna be airing. What time? March, late March or early April.
Yeah.
And in that thumbnail, I've not clicked it. Jeff Jarrett's got the title around his waist. There could mean nothing.
Well, I mean, if they taped it now, he's a champion. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
I know. I just think I know it's a whole different show and stuff. And I would definitely want to have the title belt appear on TV regardless.
Right.
But I'm just saying. Thinking of those Best Damn Sports shows. That's a little different, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud here, okay?
So that cyberspace show. There's not really as many TNA guys as you may have expected on that full card. Now, later on in the year, I've used it as an example before off the air. Cyberspace is essentially the Northeast version of what Hermie Sadler's UWF would be for the South. Like unofficial TNA house shows, essentially. These are just in Wayne, New Jersey. I mean, he had a couple of local names, as you mentioned. The Solution, which was Havoc and Papadon. Underrated tag team, I would say.
Papadon.
Yeah. You've heard that name before?
Yes, you've talked about him, and I think we've even seen him once.
Yeah, probably. They were an underrated tag team. They had a manager by the name of John Shane, who was a good, annoying manager as well. I'll just mention the ones that may be relevant now, just in case if it takes me weeks or months to get to it when they appear on Impact. So Frankie Kazarian was on that show as well. He defeated Chris Candido. And then not really, I mean, they're not really in TNA anymore, but the Amazing Red and the SATs defeated Danny Jax, Matt Stryker, and Nick Burke. And then the Cyberspace Heavyweight Championship was on the line when the champion, Slick Wagon Brown, defeated Christopher Daniels and Elix Skipper in a triple threat match.
Oh.
Now, we all know here in TNA that Triple X and it is no longer a unit because they lost a loser must split cage match.
Yep.
But for the following show in March, which is a TV taping for cyberspace, they are in fact booked to compete in a tag team match against America's Most Wanted again. And that is a show that I have not reviewed yet, actually. I accidentally skipped over that TV taping, not realizing that I did. So at some point, I will have to go back and actually review that March TV taping.
You son of a bitch.
Not that anybody really cares about Cyberspace 2005 television tapings that were aired on the internet. But
now it's going to bug you that you didn't do that, though. Just saying.
I mean, it has bugged me, but then I also look at the whole card, and it's like, maybe it's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, but is it one show?
Well, I mean, it's on one DVD, but it's considered a TV taping, so there's like 17 matches. Because they do the TV taping is like 4 or 5 episodes that they would air.
I think you should do that today.
I'm not gonna do that today. I'll do it sometime soon. And by sometime soon, I don't know. I was actually thinking about reviewing Hard to Kill 2023.
Oh, okay. It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I know, that's why I wanted to review it, because I heard it was a good show. So. But yeah. Is that all the notes that you had?
Yeah, dude. That's it before the show. Like I said, I got a couple things we'll talk about during the show, but nothing super crazy. Except that Terry Funk interview. Get ready for that.
Now, you said super crazy. Is that a tease at the
No, it's
ECW
absolutely
television channel? Oh, okay.
No, it's definitely not a tease. Sorry about that.
Well, that sucks. All right, let's get into the Go Home show. February 11th, 2005. It's TNA Impact. The runtime for this is approximately 45 minutes and 21 seconds. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I say play, that is when you're going to want to hit the play button to follow along with us. Impact Plus, if it's in your own personal collection. Either way, doesn't matter. It works for me. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is TNA, the new face of professional wrestling. Well, here's the massage again.
This is a highlight video, by the way.
I like this because it has the voiceover of Shane Douglas, so I'm imagining that those are Shane Douglas's hands giving him the massage. I wish the camera was up a little higher so it just looked like he was nude the whole time.
Yeah, that way you wouldn't know, yeah.
That seemed less slow motion.
That did, yes, it did. I noticed that.
The one that we saw last week was like...
Definitely was way more slow motion. Here we go. Same old
I hate this fucking
music.
song. Do we have... Is fucking like Sabu still in this intro?
Mm,
Oh,
yep.
fucking A.
Sure is.
Yeah, at least update the pictures. We're at the Impact Zone here in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. And if you listened last week, I really hope you did, you knew that there were 600 people here in attendance for this taping. This Sunday, against all odds, here's our pyro. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. I'm going to get out my Against All Odds DVD after this and just look at it.
Just look at it. I'm not going to watch it.
I can't watch it. I gotta just look at it. Now, there's a pre-show. I don't know if there's a way to actually watch the pre-show, but if there is, we'll figure it out. Yeah, nice poster placement behind him. Now, please note that Scott Hall is on the poster, so if Scott Hall can't appear, it's going to be kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, this is how it goes.
I know. They're saying Kevin Nash has trained harder than he ever has for this world title match. Oh. Going to Dusty Rhodes from late breaking news. That's never good. Anytime there's a pay-per-view is big against all odds, there's a stipulation that comes into play. Okay. Oh. If Kevin Nash or Jeff Jarrett uses the guitar in the match, then he will be disqualified and lose the title. February 13th. This is the biggest pay-per-view to date. So no guitar. He thinks history is going to be made at this pay-per-view. Some big words here.
So it's important to know that he said if Jeff Jarrett uses it. What if somebody else uses it?
Then it's okay. He said Jeff Jarrett used the guitar.
Jeff Jarrett, if he uses the guitar. Wasn't this like a technicality too with like Russo that we didn't realize too?
Yes, if he uses that, yeah, dude, it was the same thing. And we were like, wait a second. It took us a few weeks, I think, to realize.
Yeah,
it did. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I see what they did there. Team Canada just came out. Looked like Divine and was it Rude? I don't know. Or Eric Young. I don't know. Here's Sonny Siaki though.
He has like different music. It sounds like a little bit.
I think it just is because of the arena. It's still the same song.
Oh, maybe it's the same thing. Yeah. I thought it was more upbeat. You know, Sonny Siaki should have been the guy playing the Young Rock on Young Rock.
For real. Okay, so it looks like a singles match. We're doing the same fucking shit, dude.
Every match, the heel attacks before the bell.
So it's Divine versus Sonny Siaki. This is a very random match here on Impact.
You're not wrong.
Back body drop to Divine. I have a note about Dusty since we just saw him. I guess I can tell you during this random match here. Dusty has 2 more ideas to create superstars. Okay, get ready for this. He wants to give Ryan Wilson the Goldberg push.
Oh, no.
A lot of people are against this.
No way. Oh, my
God. He also, since Hector Garza is out of the picture, as Scott D'Amore distracts the referee and Eric Young knocks Sonny Siaki off of Divine. Since Hector Garza is out of the picture, he announced to bring in Shocker as his Latin superstar. Rhodes wouldn't have even known the name Shocker, but he watches a lot of sports on television and kept seeing this McDonald's commercial. And he loved this commercial and thought that the guy showed a lot of charisma in it. So Shocker is in this McDonald's commercial. So Shocker can't speak English because, well, he's actually American and he's from California.
That's funny.
So he found out about
a McDonald's commercial?
Apparently.
What?
I just like that it says he watches a lot of sports on TV.
What does that have to do with? Yeah, well, I mean, I guess.
Oh, baby. Kevin Nash and Jeff Jarrett are barred from the Impact Zone. They just said on commentary, but we will hear from them tonight. Wow.
I'm sure they're trying to say like Dusty watches a lot of sports on TV and like McDonald's commercials are always like on the.
Well, I know. I just think it's so funny. Divine stretching Siaki over his legs. Do you like Johnny Divine's like velvety gear?
It's funny you mention that. It looks like it's baggy as fuck on him.
What?
It looks like it doesn't. It's not like tight around his waist for some reason to me. His trunks there.
I guess I'll have to get a better look again. Oh, look at this. Whoa. Whoa.
Jeez.
I don't even know how to call that. He was doing he grabbed a leg for like a suplex, but then he flipped it into like a stunner.
Yeah. It was like a leg trap stunner suplex. He just made that up. I don't even know what it was.
When you do reviews and you don't know what the move is, you just go, he took him down.
No, but when I don't know the name of a submission, I just go, has him in a submission hold. Because some of these guys will like fold people up, and I don't know what it's called, and the announcers will be like, I don't know what this is called, so I'll just be like, got him in a leg lock.
Siaki,
I don't know.
Nice heel kick there. A single leg thrust kick. Oh, here we go.
Swing an egg burger.
Sometimes if I don't know moves and I'm doing posts, that's how I write it. It's like Sonny Siaki takes down Johnny Divine. Because some people, it's very clearly like their finisher, but like I also don't know the name and you can't find it. You can't figure it out.
Right. That was a nice power slam there by.
Yes, it was. But Scott D'Amore's on the apron, knocks Eric Young off, though. Siaki kind of has been on fire in this match. Suplex from the apron to Divine, but he slips around and a roll up. Feet on the ropes. Ref's back is clearly turned.
All right. Posey kind of did not a great job there because he immediately dropped down for the pin while he was distracted.
Yeah.
He didn't really time that well. I'm not surprised that Giant Divine won that match. But Siaki looked, decent in there. He had some good moves.
You're nothing but a cheater.
Oops.
This Sunday, join us on pay-per-view.
This is a rare win for Giant Divine, I feel like.
That's a good point. And we're going to potentially a commercial with this very slow transition.
Huh. We are running out of content. It's the week before the pay-per-view.
Last weekend, Monty Brown is somewhere. Oh, the best damn...
Oh, is that a Super Bowl?
It's a best damn
Wait a
wrestling.
minute.
Fox invited us to Jacksonville. Oh, so
Sanders. Jeff Jarrett.
I'll be king of the mountain against all odds. Emmitt Smith, one of my favorites of all time, running back.
What team did he play for?
He's a running back.
What team did he play for?
Am I right about the running back?
What team did he play for?
The Eagles.
No, close.
Fuck. Patriots.
Nope, Dallas Cowboys.
Ah, shit. Terrell Owens. He's one of my favorite. I don't know. Fucking Adam Sandler.
Yeah, what team did he play for?
The Eagles.
No, the correctionals department for the longest yard because he crashed a car that belonged to Courtney Cox. And he was on the football team in jail.
Well, that was fun. Way to show your stars with a bunch of celebs and sports guys. So that's cool. Shane Douglas backstage with Monty Brown here.
Monty Brown, a rarity moment here. He's wearing a shirt that normal people would be wearing.
Okay, so he's talking about Scott Hall and the Bad Boy Team Canada, Bobby Roode. Before we go to the future, we got to talk about the past. Jesus Christ. I haven't forgotten about Jeff Jarrett 2 times. And I'm still hunting. I've taken everything you can give. He's saying he's learned from the past. It's his destiny. But at against all odds. You want to get my business? So they're still very clearly building up for Scott Hall and Bobby Roode to be teaming up.
Yeah, they have not pivoted away from it. And we're 2 days out.
Oh, I have eyes that one of you will get the pounce. Period.
Hey, Chris Candido.
He should be in for a treat here.
On that same day that he lost to Kazarian at Cyberspace, he also lost to King Kong Bundy for NWS in Edison, New Jersey.
Wow.
Same day. Let's see if there's anybody else that... Nope, there's nobody else on that show that we would really care about. I mean, Rob Eccles was Robbie E., but...
DDP is Chris Candido's opponent here. And as he makes his way to the ring, Bob, we have some estimates about the final resolution buy rate. It's estimated that it did about...
000.
No. Actually, hold on to that. About doing about 25,000 to 28,000 buys in its original live run, but most likely due to word of mouth and because it was pushed the replay hard on television. When all is said and done, it'll probably be right around the 35,000 mark with the first 2 shows did. So we're staying pretty consistent, which of course you want to see it go up, but I mean, I'd rather stay consistent than go down.
No, absolutely.
DDP versus Chris Candido here on Impact. I can't say I was going to guess this was going to happen, but here we are.
Yeah, if you were to tell me in 2002 that TNA is going to have a show on Fox Sports Net, and there'll be a match between Candido and DDP, and I'd probably be like, I don't even think
right.
TNA will be around. Let alone have Candido and Page in there. Candido with a 2 count.
We're advertising the Hall match again on the top there because DDP, of course, in that. Big boot by Diamond Dallas Page taking out Chris Candido, and Dito is selling pretty weird there. And he's going to do... Oh, low blow. I thought he was going to do for a backslide or something, but...
DDT. Taunting the fans. Is Billy Firehawk in the audience this week? I don't see him. I don't see Pat either. He might have only been there for pay-per-views, though.
If he was smart.
Although, if I was in Orlando, I'd probably go to every single TV taping.
Why not? Once every 2 weeks and then a pay-per-view in between. I'd freaking go. Hell yeah. Especially a bunch of the names that are on the shows and stuff. Yeah, I'd be going.
Yeah. Delayed vertical, driving DDP down to the mat.
And what, you're at the taping for a couple hours, then you can go on some roller coasters and like enjoy the park.
Right.
Someone just had a throwback TNA 2002 shirt in the crowd I just saw. Lifelong fan. Right there. Is right next to that guy in the TNA shirt. It's like the old logo.
DDP got a crotch and Candido to avoid a likely diving headbutt. Oh man, is he gonna?
Chris Candido has an excellent tan, by the way.
He does.
If we, since we care about tan stuff, diamond cutter off the top.
That should do it. 1, 2, 3.
That's a 3. Self high five, bang.
Bang.
Wait, someone's saying cut the music.
Is that D'Amore?
It is. With Bobby Roode. Bask in your glory all you want. Because it come against all odds, it'll be a different story. No one said Scott Hall's an unintelligent man, but he made the smartest decision of his career when he aligned himself with the hottest commodity in wrestling today, his Team Canada. And also, if you align yourself with Scott D'Amore, chances are you'll get a push on television.
That's true.
You can... Shut the hell up, fat boy. You gotta do my GDP Yoga patented training system 60-day challenge. Don't sing it, bring it. He's comping a little Scott Hall there. Oh, there we go. So Bobby Roode is laughing because Team Canada just walked out behind him. Come on, boys. Oh, here comes the alpha male.
Are we supposed to act surprised that Monty Brown
No.
saved DDP?
He's going to pounce some Canadian bacon, is what was just said on commentary. I remember once my parents told me that Canadian bacon tasted like sugar, and they tricked me into eating it. It's a fun story for you. And I did not like it at the time, for the record. While we're hitting a highlight of the Abyss Hardy storyline, I will tell you, Bob, that the company has signed a deal with RDS, which is an all-sports channel in French that airs in Eastern Canada, based in Montreal. Impact will air weekly on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. as a first run, which is the strongest time slot it has anywhere. It debuted on February 4th with the show that aired 2 weeks earlier on FSN. They are going to have tons of replays and using the same announcers who did WCW broadcasts on the station years ago. But apparently, and I'm not going to say their names because I'm going to butcher them, but apparently they were horrible and so bad that now the Quebec fans who wrote to us feel that the first show said it does TNA more harm than good to have them announcing. The announcers had no idea who most of the wrestlers were or storylines. They argued back and forth whether Dusty Rhodes was Dustin Rhodes, and when Dusty would come out, they would call him Goldust and thought that he was a heel. During the Kid Kash and Lance Hoyt versus America's Most Wanted brawl, the announcers didn't know anyone, just saying, "Here comes a tag team and another tag team."
That's good.
We just saw another Ryan Wilson Titus preview. He's coming.
He's gonna get that Goldberg push. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get David Young and Jeff Hammond.
And with David Young is Michael Shane and Frankie Kazarian. And Bob, as I texted you last night, could you believe the groundbreaking note? Normally I don't tease Bob with notes beforehand, but this one I had to share because if you guys did not know, I found out in the Wrestling Observer that Michael Shane's real name is Matt Bentley. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, here comes 3 Live Crew.
Is he going to be in gear? I can't tell yet.
No, he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah.
Jean jacket, jean pants, TNA shirt.
He looks like Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell.
I hate BG James' outfit right now.
Those yellow pants are a decision.
With like the beanie. Yeah, holy crap, dude. I like that Conan always looks like he's going to rob a bank.
You know, I was just going to say Conan's looking more like he's looking harder to me.
Well, he's got the bandana on the face, the one on the top, and the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Let's keep this up and popping. Does
somebody have an X Division title T-shirt?
Yes, I just saw that as well.
Huh. That's interesting.
Oh, we're putting a twist on the list. It's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 on the floor. He's the voice of NASCAR. Hollywood Hotel. What do they call him? Gear what? Gear Jammin' Jeff Hammond?
Jammin' Jeff Hammond. It's been said all I could do
is turn left. Had a couple news for some motor mouths here tonight. Sooner or later, you're going to have to make a pit stop, buddy. Who's going to show him his form of pit stop? I like this. This is hilarious.
Well, the only pit stop I know is the Brian Knobbs pit stop, and that was rubbing someone's face into their armpit.
Oh, my God. I thought... Okay. This isn't Icopod.
You thought I was going to say something totally different. This is a different show, pal.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the Icopod bonus episode. In case our other one ever gets posted, though. It was supposed to get posted about a month ago.
Yeah, there's 2 of them supposed to be. But don't worry about
it. We have 2 of them that aren't posted.
Super Brawl, right? Have I posted Super Brawl yet?
Super Brawl, I thought was up.
Well, then in that case, it's just uncensored. Then I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but we were supposed to post it on Christmas.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Well. The thing that we should do is just wait to post them until we have another one recorded. So we'll just wait.
I'm gonna wait until we get all of 96 done, and then I'll start posting them out. So get ready for 2027.
So we're never gonna post them. David Young is distracted, and then oh my God, a spear.
Hey, man, the Goldberg push is for freaking Titus here, not Jeff Hammond.
Oh, okay. So I gotta say, Jeff Hammond's punch is not bad. He was actually hitting him in the face. But the referee's distracted, and Kazarian came in to break up the pin. David Young suplexed Jeff Hammond, but now Ron Killing's distracting ref. BG James slips in the ring and goes to give a pump handle slam. Boom to David Young.
Jeff Hammond almost like broke his ankle on that suplex, so he landed like on his.
Dude, he's revving up. He's got the car. He's turning left.
God.
Drops an elbow.
Get out of here. No way.
The pit stop. That's what they call that.
The pit stop. He literally drove around the ring in an invisible car, dropped an elbow, and beat David Young. Oh, now he's getting jumped.
At the bottom of the screen, by the way, I believe it said the pre-show is free in yellow text, so you really saw it. and there's matches.
Well,
and
was it yellow
interviews.
text or was it just BG's pants that just happened to also be on the scroll there?
Okay, well, that happened. Now we're going to the office of the DOA. Dream, where have you been? I'm taking care of pay-per-view
He was
business.
banging Trinity in the back of his car. Banging his truck.
She did just fix her top as if something was happening, which is very odd. Oh, God. They were. She said, and people say you're an old man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Bob. Did I miss something here? That was the first, like, direct, like, were we banging, like, comment that we've had. Oh, God. Well,
that was a random pyro thing that just went off. What was that for?
Why not? AJ Styles at the commentary table here. The unbreakable, steel enforced commentator's table. And Bob, you'll be glad to know that the Eurosport channel, which is a European sports channel, in case you didn't figure that out, is giving the TNA tryout with two specials, one on February 25th and the second on March 4th. Both will be highlight shows. And I have more TV news, but Daniels is coming out, so we're going to have to take a pause. You call yourself Mr. TNA, then it should be me. But now you're going to try to come and steal my thunder? Don't you yell at me, boy! I'm not some ham sandwich like Chris Sabin. Oh, he slapped him across the face. Styles hops over the table.
Yeah, well, he was watching Power Slap on TBS.
Stop. I saw clips of that, and that's a fuck up show anyway.
Yeah, it's not very good. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll never watch that shit. Yeah, but we got to pull apart here. Don Harris is here. Don't you worry. That was a good slap to the face.
That was a very loud slap, too.
Well, it was perfect because the crowd was like listening too, so they weren't like, and then it was like boom. Yeah, it woke them up.
He's saying he's going to kill AJ for the X Division Championship.
Does Daniels leave against all odds with the title?
What's that?
Does Daniels leave against all odds with the title?
I mean, AJ just won it again.
Which is why I don't think he's going to, but I'm kind of pulling for him.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll do it.
I agree. TNA pay-per-view shows, as Shark Boy here comes out, by the way, are going to be soon available in Japan. It's not a big deal, as it's doubtful they'll even get 1,000 orders out of the country. Apparently, WWE pay-per-views usually get around 5,000 in Japan, so probably not big, but nonetheless. Oh! Look at the nameplate: Primetime Elix Skipper. It's official.
All right, so he's got his name back.
He does.
It's a relief.
Oh, there's Sabin.
Sabin came out to Skipper's music still playing, so
a little early, but
that's the count there.
So it looks like we have what, a three-way match?
Sure seems that way.
Shark Boy, Primetime Elix Skipper.
I think Elix is going to win this one.
There you go. And Chris Sabin, I think I agree with you on that.
And I think he's going to pin fucking Shark Boy.
Well, Shark Boy had a pretty good showing on last week's episode, so it doesn't feel as out of place.
No.
Shark Boy shook hands with Sabin, and now he's shaking with Skipper. Skipper kicks back and hits Sabin as he goes right after Shark Boy in the headlock.
Atomic drop.
Oh, it's official. Ultimate X returns in the March pay-per-view, Destination X. And one of these three men, they've been notified that about this matchup. So whoever wins could be a potential entrant into that Ultimate X match.
Yeah, but they just said Ultimate X returns. Wasn't it just last month?
Yeah.
At Final Resolution we had one?
Yeah.
So is Ultimate X the new ladder match for us? Because we're just fucking doing that every other month.
I have a feeling, this is a guess, and it could very, very much be wrong, But since it is going to be a X Division focused pay-per-view, I could see why they want it on it, and I have a feeling then it'll slow down.
I fucking hope so, dude. You can't keep on just doing Ultimate X's.
Look at this Tower of Doom here.
I hope, you know what, now that I know the context that the winner of this could potentially go into Ultimate X, I want Shark Boy to win.
It'd be a lot more fun.
It would.
Crowd's loving this match here. But I got 2 more notes left. I'll start giving you those after this match. One I should have given you during that Trinity and Tracy segment because it's kind of about their stuff, but we'll hold out till after this match.
Well, when you have the revelation that Dusty Rhodes was banging Trinity in the back of his pickup truck, I mean,
you're not an old man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I can see how you could forget your notes.
Tornado DDT kicks off Skipper, nails Shark Boy. Mike TNA is losing his shit in this match right now. Did you see it?
Yeah. That's usually Don doing that.
I know. When TNA does, you know shit's going down.
Yeah.
Sabin moves Shark Boy over. He goes to the top rope, gets pushed off, crashed onto the rope by Elix Skipper.
He's too close. He's not going to walk. Well, he barely walked.
He did a mini walk.
One step. He did one step. Oh, no. Can he do it? The DSD? Oh, he hit it on Sabin. Oh, no. Shark Boy got knocked to the floor by Skipper. And Skipper steals the pin.
From Shark Boy's finisher. Very interesting.
That's it. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Wow. Okay.
That was good.
That was pretty
good.
Good.
Perfect. Another highlight of the Styles Daniels thing. Rob Nemi said the match, which the women get Dusty on the pay-per-view pre-show. Apparently, Big Tilly and Bruno Sassy, who are the old, Pi Delta Slam tag team, are going to be fighting Mikey Batts and Jarrell Clark. And Mikey Batts and Jarrell will lose. Dave notes that he has not seen the Pi Delta Slam, but Nemi wasn't impressed, saying, out of all the guys from Florida to work the tapings, they hire Pi Delta Slam. Now, this is, of course, rumor. We don't know this is for sure yet, but I found it very interesting. Because remember, we heard it was going to be the Harris brothers.
Right.
And my last note, I'll give you guys in just a bit here. It's our Sean Waltman note. Or, sorry, Terry Funk, not Sean Waltman. Sorry. But Mike TNA is in the ring alone in an empty arena from earlier. Talking about Nash and Jarrett being barred from the show. Okay, Nash is from Hollywood here, and Jarrett is from Nashville. Talk about some rumors and stuff.
You want to know how we know for sure Nash is in Hollywood? He's got a plant behind him.
And Jarrett's probably directly next to him with a black wall.
Like, literally.
If Jeff Jarrett uses the car, he's disqualified, so they're reminding him of that. First off, how's it going, Mike? They're asking Kevin Nash if it is altering his strategy. He says no. My plan doesn't change either way. 15 minutes on the heavy bag every day. Hard as he can. High intensity cardio. 15, 20-minute intervals. I don't get paid by the hour. I don't get paid by the match. Or he gets paid by the match. Nash is saying this match is going to be high impact.
High intensity.
Jeff Jarrett will use it and lose it. How does this alter your strategy? Mike, I got to ask you a question. As I stand in front of an empty black background in a black suit. He said since he's put on his boots and started winning titles, he's had the same game plan. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the tallest.
I've taken everybody's best shot, and I still keep going.
I'm gonna hold on to this belt by any means necessary. Shane Douglas has been following your every move. Bob, I'm starting to think we're not going to find out what happened when he opened the door.
I don't think we are. I think that would have already happened.
Son of a bitch.
Or like they would have mentioned it.
Some about Super Bowl rings. So he's not going to downplay Jarrett. Nobody's beating him. He's a great champion. He's a technician. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses.
He's not going to survive the punishment he's going to dish out.
Oh, he's gonna bring a Valentine's gift to his wife with her husband wearing the gold. Wow, what a statement! In my professional life, there's one thing I focus on. Korea, Australia, Puerto Rico. He's defended this title everywhere. Mike, I got heritage. Wow. Very strong words here by Jeff Jarrett.
Kevin Nash has made a career making a mockery of titles. I can take punishment. Dallas, you think they did this in an empty arena via satellite? Because if they did it in the ring, the crowd would just shit on Jarrett again.
Yeah, I kind of do. Talking about his 13 knee operations. Do you plan to focus your offensive attack on his knees? Why would I tell Kevin about my game plan, dude?
That's a valid question. Why would I tell you what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Don't give away your game plan. I'm going to hold on to this title by any means necessary. Against all odds, you're going to hold that belt, Jeff. We'll see Sunday. I'm a little bummed, Bob, that was kind of our last thing for this feud, because I feel like it's been like pretty decent build, but
yeah. And I really wish that we would get some kind of answer about what just happened when Nash opened that door.
Yeah, come on.
But here's the thing. I think it was Scott Hall, and if he's not going to be around, then why show it?
Well, I think that maybe that's what they wanted it to be, but he wasn't at the taping when they filmed it anyway.
Oh, right. That's true.
Kid Kash and Lance Hoyt are coming out now, which is, I'm going to have to get used to that. Yeah. Raven? What is happening? Love Raven's jacket. Love the look. He's just the best.
Only indie note is for Dallas or Lance Hoyt. He defeated Damian on January 22nd for PCW's Full Throttle in Arlington, Texas.
Okay, this looks like to be a 6-man. So Raven's teaming with Kash and Lance Hoyt, and there's Dustin. Oh shit! And America's Most Wanted.
I don't know if we mentioned this before, but Dustin Rhodes teamed up with Dusty and Mike Graham to defeat Abdullah the Butcher, CM Punk, and Kevin Sullivan.
What the fuck?
And Mick Foley was the special referee. This was on January 29th for Russell Reunion in Tampa, Florida.
That is bizarre. CM Punk and Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a pretty loaded main event here. In like very odd teams. I like this.
Oh, you know what? That was the same show where Jarrett wrestled Tully Blanchard.
Oh shit. Okay.
So we might have. Well, I mean, we've heard that one before. I know that.
I just don't remember. Yeah, I guess I just don't remember hearing that match. We might have though, but
America's Most Wanted fought Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk. They won that by disqualification.
Yeah.
NWA tag title match.
Well, hey, speaking of Terry Funk, before this match gets super far into it here, as Storm and Kid Kash are starting us off with some technical work, I'll just give you this last note. He did this interview with Interactive Interview Radio Show. And basically the only thing that I'm pointing out is that he noted that he was never actually on the TNA Championship Committee. He said one day Jeff Jarrett called him and asked if he could use Terry's name. And Terry said that if it helped their business, they could use it. So they did.
That's hilarious.
There's the confirmation you need about that.
They just used his name and he was never on it. So you're telling me they were like, oh, Terry Funk's backstage. And he was, of course he was never there, but they just asked to use his name.
Yeah.
I would have charged him. You're going to use my likeness, use my name, and say I was there, and you got to pay me.
Raven tagged in here with, is that Harrison? Yeah.
Yep, that's Chris. Here comes Kash.
Kash
now let's see if there's any issues here, because Kash is talk some shit in some interviews.
Yeah, but I think he's a professional. He's gonna just do. He's gonna do what he needs to do. Kash, look at that springboard moonsault. Holy shit, that was awesome.
2 count on Harris. Yeah, that was nice.
Kid Kash, very underrated. We say it all the time.
Yeah, it's safe to say he is. Harris decks him with the left hand. Elbow
with a big Lance. I'm gonna miss the big D on the tights though of Lance Hoyt. It literally wrote Big D. Didn't think twice about that.
Yeah. Well, in a company like TNA, you might as well say Big D.
Primetime versus P.D. Williams I just saw for Against All Odds. Scroll at the bottom. That's another match. Kash pushes Harris, off the top there. Middle rope he was on, I guess, technically. Huge frog splash. Harris moves out of the way. Boom, boom, boom.
Raven get tagged in, but Raven stopping him.
Yeah, he's like, nope. Ducks the clothesline from Raven, though. Off the rope, Harris knocks down Raven with that left leaping lariat. Tags in Dustin Rhodes. Dustin's on fire. He knocks down Raven. Knocks down Kid Kash. Here comes Hoyt as he gets Kid Kash again. Ducks the clothesline from Hoyt. Comes back. The numbers game, but James Storm knocks Hoyt out of the ring. Kash and Raven. That's kind of silly. I don't really like that move. Yes. Okay, there's a lot going on. Someone just got speared.
You can't do that drop down punch thing to 2 people.
To 2 people? Come on.
That makes sense.
Raven effect on Dustin? No, Dustin countered. Ducks the clothesline from Raven, comes off the rope, hits that bulldog, which, let's see. That's a 3. He's been winning with that bulldog.
Dustin Rhodes just pinned Raven.
That was a lot faster of a main event than I expected.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know what? Don't overstay your welcome, I guess, right? It's fine. So, well, we'll see what they kind of end the show with here tonight. But I was looking, Bob. We know the entire Against All Odds card,
Oh, good.
which is awesome. With
No
that last
surprise.
match announced at the bottom of the screen. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so
I
we're
thought you
ending
were
with
gonna
like a hype package.
do a 2-minute like rundown of the big matches here.
Well, you know I'm a sucker for fucking match cards, baby.
Yeah, I am too.
Full Metal Mayhem, Hardy versus Abyss. Now it's AJ talking in a dark room like he's Raven with a red light.
I saw that. Why was he wearing his hoodie? Just take it off.
Daniel's talking in this light makes a
In the
lot more
same
sense.
room. What the fuck?
The Phenomenal One versus the Fallen Angel. It's AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. Oh yeah, show that slap again. That's good. How low are you willing to stoop?
Stoop kids afraid to leave. Stoop.
Hey, you were wrong, Bob. No ladder. We saw no ladder.
Oh, I know. Well, that's
Damn it.
bullshit. You're not wrestling just against me. You're wrestling against. Nice.
Match, Iron Man match there. A little picture. That's the gospel of the fallen angel. Here's the Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett one. I think we've kind of been downplaying the tag team title match. I mean, I guess we kind of got the little tease of that in that main event, but Kevin Nash's his little undies. Look at here's the room thing again, dude. And look at them shut. Ah, oh, damn them. My wife loves gold.
By any means necessary. Why are they focusing on that phrase?
And that's TNA. Here's the match card picture as Kevin Nash just wearing like an Under Armour shirt in the picture.
Under Armour fucking shirt. That's great.
And there we go. We go off the air. Bob, 2 days. And it's against all odds, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna. I mean, on paper, I think it's an interesting card, and it should be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be pretty fun. There's going to be the potential of surprises. And we might see some new champions. We're definitely getting a few number one contenders, which is really cool. So I think it's going to be setting us up very well. And actually, it's going to be really interesting because after Against All Odds, if we have essentially a special X Division focused pay-per-view, we might kind of not have a lot of this stuff featured. It might be a lot of heavy stuff on Impact, right? Which I think is going to be kind of fun. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool that we also, we know for March, we know for April that we have confirmed shows as well. The April one being one of Dale's all-time favorites, and arguably at that point could be the final one that we do. What's the point?
It's just never going to get any better.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point? There's no point. So,
I will. I'm trying to see if I can find the pre-show, but I've only found notes about it so far. So we'll see.
Like you're trying to find like video footage of it?
Yeah. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. I found the 2009 pre-show.
Interesting.
It's also interesting to note that pre-show is not listed on Cage Match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But,
Well, you know what? That pre-show is probably on the DVD.
I'll take a look. I will do some research.
I would have to think that it's on DVD. Like if it wasn't, then like.
Well, if it is, there's not like an easy way to do that. So if it is, I will do some pre-show research, and I could report back.
There wouldn't be an easy way to do that.
I don't know. We could talk. We can figure it out.
You just got to just dub it off of the DVD or whatever.
I don't know if I know how to do that, Bob.
Of course you don't.
But anyway,
you're the technology guy,
I know, which is actually kind of funny that like you know how to do that and I don't. But anyway, 2 days, guys, against all odds. I'm looking forward to it. Bob's looking forward to it. He's always looking forward to TNA, and I think it's gonna be really great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I like to sit down. We of course do not do any notes during the shows, and we will play a little catch up after. I don't really think there's going to be a whole lot that we didn't cover on today's episode that will be like left over, which will be nice. And if there is, you know what? If have a lull in the show, I could always talk about it then as well.
Right.
I don't even know if there really was anything. Yeah, just talking about them being barred from the ringside and stuff, or barred from the arena. But anyway, Bob, that's all I got. I hope everyone's excited and will join us in just 2 days for Against All Odds.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Pay-per-view time will be a lot of fun, and hopefully Against All Odds delivers on my hopeful expectations of quality. So, all right, we'll see you guys a couple days. Until then, for Dallas Gridley, I'm Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Across the Line podcast.
It's me. It's DDP. Self-high.